Hi everyone, how do you do? Well, this is the video I promised on the social networks about the questions you asked me. I don't know if you remember, but I said when I reach 500 subscribers on my YouTube channel, I'm gonna make a video to answer all the questions that the viewers and subscribers send me. And I have received some questions, and today I'm gonna try to answer them all. Alright? So first of all, I would like to thank you very much. Okay? The channel has been getting bigger every day, and it's been very nice to upload videos to feel like I am helping some people. Alright? So I really appreciate all your comments, and yeah, that's it. Okay, thank you very much. The very first question was sent by Hussein Ahmed. He's from Egypt. I hope I haven't mispronounced your name, and if I have, I apologize. Well, the questions, actually he asked me two questions. The first one was, how can I succeed in a job interview in English? Well, Hussein, I think it's a very good question and very difficult to answer, because it's a matter of confidence, it's a matter of going there, believing in yourself, and, you know, doing your best. It's difficult for the person who is applying for a job, because usually you are really nervous, you are kind of anxious, you know, so all this together really affects the result of your interview. So when I am about to do something in English and I am nervous, the thing I do to try to, to keep calm is I try to practice a lot, and I try to predict some moments, situations, some questions and answers that might come up, you know. So I would say that if you are applying for a job, and if you are very nervous, and if you are, you know, very anxious, and you don't really know what the result will be, just take your time, practice at home, try to, you know, keep calm and believe in yourself. I think confidence really matters, okay? Well, the second question you asked me was, how can I pronounce the words such as worked, connected? I think his question was more like, how can I pronounce the verbs in the past when they end with ed, the regular verbs? Well, that's a very nice question, and I think I should better make a particular video to explain that, because it's very complicated. I at least hear my students making lots of mistakes in terms of pronunciation when they have to say those verbs in the past. You know, usually foreigners and non-native speakers of English tend to pronounce ed as a separate syllable, but it's not a separate syllable, you know. You don't say worked, no, you say worked. But I'm gonna make a video about it, and you can see how to pronounce those words. Thank you very much for your questions. Well, the second question was sent by Jackson Ramalho from Minas Gerais, Brazil. The question was, can you comment on the differences between learning actively, for example, learning grammar at school and forcing yourself to consume content, and learning spontaneously, passively, like watching content in the language and not giving much importance to grammar? In my opinion, the best option is a midterm. Learning passively is very effective, but knowing the grammar and having something to back you up is also important. Well, Jackson, thank you very much for your question. I really appreciate that. It's a very nice question indeed, but you have already answered it. Yes, you have already said your opinion, and I completely agree with you. So Jackson's question is, what's the best way for learning English? Should I study grammar, those traditional things that you probably study at school, or should I watch TV series, listen to music, and learn English passively, like spontaneously? You don't even notice you're learning, but in fact you are. Well, I would say the same as you said, both a midterm, you know. I would say the same, like in the linguistics field, people usually they try to differentiate both ideas of learning. When you are learning, spontaneously, you don't even notice, you don't even pay attention. When you're just, listening to things, watching things, and, input, that's the name, input. People tend to say, the linguists tend to say that you are acquiring the language, yeah? And when you are studying grammar, when you are in a formal education, studying English, you are learning English. I don't even care if you are learning or acquiring. What really matters, in my opinion, is, are you able to speak now? Are you able to use language, to use the English language to communicate? So I would say that, yeah, if you learn, if you acquire the language by listening to it, by watching videos, that's marvelous, that's fantastic. But I do believe having the grammatical knowledge also helps you, Many people try to banish grammar. No, but grammar is very important. Grammar exists, and as you have said yourself, it exists to back you up, to give you the theory, why the language happens like that. I like grammar. I'm a person who is very fond of grammar, to be honest. Well, thank you very much for your question, Jackson. Okay, the next questions were sent by two different people, but they basically asked the same thing. The first one was from Vanessa Alves. She's from Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, and she asked me, well, she sent the question in Portuguese, but the idea is basically people who learn English alone tend to criticize English courses. But in your opinion, what is more effective? Learning English on the internet with native teachers, or studying in a proper English course? The other question was sent by Roger from Santa Catarina in Brazil, and Roger asked, which one do you think is better, studying alone or attending an English course? Best regards for your mates. Thank you very much, Roger. A big hug for you. Well, so basically it's the same idea. In my opinion, even though I've learned English on my own, I've learned English by myself, I've never criticized an English course. I don't know where this idea came from, but I've never done it. I don't know if I'm an exception, but I've never done it, because I don't think an English course or learning alone is better or worse than the other. In my opinion, the key word for you to learn English, no matter how, is discipline. If you have discipline plus motivation, you can learn English alone in an English course. Do you know what I mean? Because if you go to an English course but you don't have discipline, if you are not motivated, if you are not interested, you're not going to learn as much as a person who is interested in learning. The same, if you don't go to an English course, but you have enough discipline and enough motivation, you can learn the language by yourself. So, I don't really think one is better than the other. I would say that if you have discipline, you are motivated, you are really interested, you are really willing to learn, you can either go to an English course or stay at home studying. And only one observation. Vanessa said, should I learn English on the internet with a native teacher? Don't really have this illusion in your mind, people, because there are some people who believe it's only possible to learn English properly if you are studying with a native English speaker. But actually, that's not true. I've read an article quite recently, and I don't know if I agree with it, but the article said that basically teachers who are not native are better English teachers than the native teachers themselves. So there are some discussions going on, but you can learn English on the internet, but not necessarily with a native English speaker and teacher. Alright? Thank you very much for your questions, mates. The other question was also sent in Portuguese. It was sent by Junior Oliveira from Teresópolis in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. So Junior asked me, how can I unlock my speaking, and how can I not be afraid to speak in public? Well, Junior, this is a very complicated thing, because this is a matter of personality. Sometimes there are people who get afraid of talking in public, even if they are using their mother tongue. It's a matter of confidence, it's a matter of shyness, you know. But how to unlock your speaking? The answer is a simple one. You have to speak. That's it. You have to really practice. I don't know if it's gonna work for you, but a suggestion I would give you is, before you have to talk to someone, before you have to say something to the public, try to practice that thing alone. At least that's what I ask my students to do. When we are going to have some kind of discussion in the classroom, I ask them to to discuss in pairs, so they have kind of a moment to get ready for the discussion with the whole class. So it's the same idea. If you're going to speak in public, try to practice before. Maybe that would make you feel more comfortable, more confident, and less afraid of messing up. Alright? The other question was made by Bizarre from Brunei. I hope I haven't mispronounced your name as well. And so he or she, I don't even know, made some kind of joke. The person made some kind of joke. The person said, I don't know, I'm sure you have never heard of Brunei, but it's in the Southeast Asia, close to Malaysia, Singapore and Indonesia. Thank you very much. Well, the question is, hi, I have a question for you. Should we use present simple tense or past simple tense after the word never? Some people said that it depends. Well, depends on what? I never really got the right one. Okay, so when you have this kind of question, you have also to bear in mind the register. By register, I mean formal and informal language. After never, in terms of formality, if it's a very formal speech, you should use never. In the simple present, it's okay. When I say, I never go to school, that's okay, that's completely correct. But I don't think it's quite nice to use never and the simple past tense, like, I never went to school. I mean, in terms of formality, when you are trying to be formal, that's not okay, according to the grammar. You should rather say, I have never gone to school. I have never gone to the beach. So you have to use the present perfect tense. But, on the other hand, if you are talking to your friends, it doesn't matter. You can use present, present perfect, simple past, and the word never, the adverb never. It's not a problem, okay? So that's, I think, when people said to you that it depends, I think they meant the register, you know? It depends on the situation. If you are in a lecture, you should probably say, I have never gone to London, instead of, I never went to London, you know? It's more formal, okay? The other question was asked by Leticia. She didn't say where she's from, but I suppose she's Brazilian. And she asked me, how to improve my vocabulary in English? Well, Leticia, you are a privileged person because I have made a video to answer your particular question about how to improve your vocabulary. You can check the video here, okay? So go on, watch it, and you're going to have your answer. Okay, but you also asked me another question. You asked me, have you ever studied abroad? No, Leticia, I have never studied abroad. I have never gone abroad, actually. Not yet. I intend to go this year. Okay, I intend to go to the UK this year. I hope I can do it. Okay, thank you very much for your question, darling. So, the other question was asked by Ismael Cesar from Brazil, and he asked me, What's the difference between attorney and lawyer? Well, Ismail, I didn't know the answer for your question, you know, because for me they were kind of synonyms. I had this idea in my mind, but then I researched a little bit and I found out that actually there is a difference indeed. I mean, they are both supposed to defend people in the court. You know, they are both supposed to work with justice and law, both of them. But the difference is, an attorney and a lawyer, they have both been to a law school, both of them. The difference is, a lawyer is a person who has only been to a law school. Okay? If you finish your law course, if you completed your course, your major, then you are a lawyer. However, an attorney is a more qualified lawyer. An attorney has taken the bar examination. So it's only a difference in terms of qualification. Lawyer has just been to law school. An attorney has also been to a law school but has also taken the bar examination, which gives the attorney more qualification in the labor field, in the labor market. Okay? Thank you very much for your question, mate. Okay, the last question I received was sent by Gu. I don't really know where this name comes from, so I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. The person doesn't say where he or she is from, so the only thing I have is the name. It's here, so you can see it. Well, the question is, I am bad at making sentences with passive voice and have been and a third verb. Had been and a third verb. I always use past tense and present simple, whatever I want to express, instead of present perfect or past perfect. So if you can make a video about that, it will be so helpful for me. By the way, thanks for this survey and help. I thank you for sending me this question. Really, I really appreciate that. Well, indeed, I think I should make a video, a particular video to explain this, you know, because it's a grammatical topic and it's a complicated one, you know, but you shouldn't use simple past and present perfect for everything you're trying to express, for every single message you're trying to convey, because there is a difference. But don't you worry, because I am going to make more videos about grammar, about particular grammar topics, and you just have to pay attention to the channel because I will be uploading new videos about grammar soon. Okay? Thank you very much. Well, mates, those were the questions, and again, I really would like to thank you very much because the questions were amazing. If you have any other questions, I'm gonna ask you to send me the questions on my Facebook page. You can check the link here in the description box, or if you prefer, you can use hashtag #AskLianderson on Twitter, and I will see your questions. So maybe I will make another video soon to answer those new questions which might come up. Alright? Thank you very much. Bye bye. Have a nice day. And by the way, Happy New Year! Yeah, we are in the beginning of 2016. I hope this year brings us amazing things. I really hope so. Thank you very much. Bye bye.